Yo, 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 what's up, fellas? Hope all of you had a very nice weekend. I'm just getting back home, was visiting some family, but nonetheless, we still caught a nice move on SEI, which I'll pull up here really quickly. It had some nice news today. I can't claim all of the flowers and stuff like that for this particular stock, but it was just a beautiful breakout. I was kind of worried here whenever we were trying to retest this 50-day moving average potentially to the downside because we can see the stock doesn't necessarily respect the 50-day moving average. So I was kind of worried here a little bit. We sat through, I don't even know how much drawdown. I think it was like close to 5% of drawdown. Yeah, it was probably like five, yeah, pretty much exactly 5% of drawdown. And then I think or no, it might have been more, but and then it went up 20% intraday today. So that was an awesome idea. A couple tickers for potential long ideas. Always be weary of futures and how futures are acting. Futures are trying to grind back up after sweeping these lows at 6,600 on ES and then of like 24.5 on the Nasdaq. But um, I think Stock Doc, I think he posted something like he was still potentially bearish. So just always something to watch for because all the plays that we take are, they're not penny stocks. They can't just move on their own. A lot of times they can move on their own on news or earnings or stuff and other stuff like that, but a lot of other times they're correlated pretty heavily with the market, especially like our Meta, our AMD, our Microsoft, stuff like that, our Mag 7, stuff like that. So it's always very, very important to pay attention how the market's doing. If the market's down 500 points, you're probably not going to want to take a long idea. So that's just my own 2 cents. So I have a couple tickers I just scanned through really quickly. LSCC, it's a semiconductor company. They gapped up pretty nicely on their earnings report, falling back down into the 50-day. I would be looking for longs on this kind of breakout here. If we can see some strength potentially above like 95, I would take longs above 95 as long as futures are green. I would long for test of 100 and then 108 potentially. I'm not STRL. I'm not 100% sure. I think I was maybe looking at something like this. Okay, yeah. So it's actually testing right now, trying to break out. So I mean, if in tomorrow's session, if we can see strength above 430, I'll be longing this name STRL. So you can go ahead and set your alert for that. And the same on LSCC. We'll just put in our alert right there for our breakouts. And then it'll alert us on our PC or whatever. And then this one, not really liking here. I put it on the watch list, but now that I look at it on TradingView, not too good. RTX would be looking for longs potentially above break of that previous pivot on of like 207-ish. It looks like we're trying to fall back down into the 50-day moving average, but I can definitely see us sorry, I had to get a little drink. I can definitely see us seeing some nice green volume potentially breaking above pivot, but be wary of these false breaks on these pivots. I'm gonna take RTX off of the watch list. Not a huge fan of that one now that I take a look at it. AA is something that I really like. If we can see strength definitely above 68, I'll be longing this name. We've been consolidating in the 67 to 56 range since pretty much the beginning of 2026, so it looks like it could be primed, for a potential breakout here. It's definitely one of the names that I've been watching pretty closely. I'm pretty sure Stock Doc has as well. I don't remember if I saw this one in his video watch list as well or not, but yeah, strength above 68, I'll be longing this name. Alcoa Corporation AA. WWD was just falling into the 50-day. I thought I'd throw it on there. Just something to watch for some momentum. KMI, it's pretty far extended, but I mean, a lot of the other names we trade are kind of extended too. So, kind of if we can break out, I'm gonna set my alert, here at like 34. Move it up a little bit, like 34. And then if we can see some strength above 34, I could potentially see myself longing this name. Okay, FN, we have a lot of stuff drawn on this chart. So we've traded this name a few times. So we traded it here, I remember. We traded it here as well for 25% on common shares, which is actually, we probably didn't call the top on that. We probably close to 10, 15%. But right now it's just falling right back in that 50-day average. And if we can see strength above previous pivot 532, so that's where I'm going to set my alert, is just kind of right here. Oops. If I can even do it. I'll set my alert there, and if we can see some strength, I would like it to be in a couple sessions. We just slowly grind up, and then just a strong green candle like we saw in this breakout back in February. That would be very nice. Short ideas, nothing crazy. I think I just have one, and it's not something I'm particularly fond of. We just lost the 50-day moving average. We retested it. I mean, I would consider potential shorts, below this kind of, I guess, support zone that we've kind of had. If we can see, I'll add an alert down here. Fall below 55 or whatever, could potentially short it to 53, 50, etc. It's pretty far extended. I mean, not by the 50-day, but I mean, we're up pretty good since July. This is a decent stock, but I can see myself shorting this name. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share a couple different tickers with you guys. In terms of the actual market, no real bias at the moment. Still leaning bearish for me. If we get stuck in this zone for a few more months like we were here, like since October. Like, look, we were stuck here since literally whenever we first started consolidating, probably like last November. I mean, if we stay in this zone here, that would be pretty detrimental to our trading. So I'm hoping either we can see some downside continuation below 450, 450, or upside momentum above 26350, and then potentially all-time highs would be awesome. I just miss the days whenever the market just either went down or went up, like here, like this is just sideways action. We don't really like that. Last time this happened, back in 21 and 24. So, but yeah, if we can break out one way or another, it'll give us some opportunities, long or short. So, just something to be watching here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching if you stuck around to the end, and I will talk to you guys a little bit more tomorrow. All right, peace.